Hi, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and today we're going to be looking at the Messenger Oracle by Ravine Phelan. I'm not entirely sure how to spell that. Ravynne Phelan. The artwork and she's the author and the artist of this particular deck, and this is called the Messenger Oracle. It is a 50 card deck and guidebook, and it is a Blue Angel deck. So the box is nice and sturdy with a yellow inside, and it's quite a nice box. I really like the size of Blue Angel boxes. They sit on the shelf really nicely. I'm really happy with Blue Angel boxes. The guidebook is, it's small. It's not real big. I don't mind that. The actual guidebook is 65 pages. It has a grayscale representation of the image, the card number, the title, and then a little paragraph about the card. So, for example, well, let's do the first one so I can actually show you the card. So, A New Day Dawns is the first card. So here we have, I know some people like to hear the text. So, A New Day Dawns. Today is a new day. With the dawn comes an opportunity to begin again or to embrace something new. Create what you wish to create. Become the person who you dream of being. Do not allow your doubts or fears to hold you back, for this day is bright with hope and good fortune. Go forth and greet it with a smile on your lips and joy in your heart. So, it's not much there. Personally, with Oracle decks, I don't mind that very much. I just need enough if for some reason I'm not getting it off of the image in the statement. I don't very often go back and open up Oracle decks, to be honest. So that's okay with me. There is an introduction. It says that this deck is for those who open like a flower to the song of life and magic that surrounds and flows through all, who feel a need to connect with Gaia and Great Spirit or seek to both reaffirm and understand the connection. It is a divination tool born of love and free of both judgment and dogma. And so it goes on. Talks about connecting, how to use your cards. It has a 1-card draw, which Oracle cards are great for. I do like the Shadow Soul and Let 2 Be 1, where you have the shadow, which is a facet of yourself that needs to be reflected on or addressed. The second card, the Soul card, is a facet of yourself that is a strength for you. And then the third card is how you can marry Soul and Shadow so that you have balance. So I quite like that. Then there's a Gaia tree spread, which is quite a large spread for an Oracle deck. So this is going to represent you. There's going to be branches for moods and energy, strengths and weaknesses, etc. So there's quite a lot going on here. We maybe will give that one a try. We'll see. Talks about reversed cards, that if you decide to use reversals, that's just an area that you might be blocked in or need or have neglected. And then again, as I said before, we get into this. So it's it's not anything extravagant. If if the art is done well and the sentence or keywords of an Oracle deck are done well, I don't think we really need to use these a lot. So in my opinion, that's plenty. I love the backs of these cards. If you can see, it's like a moss green crackle. The front is that way too. I would love to hopefully be able to find a mossy green die for the sides. I'm going to look for that probably tomorrow because I would love to do that to these. But it has a pentacle on the back. It's not reversible, as obviously the point would be facing down if it was reversed. But again, if you use reversals, I think there's ways around that so that it doesn't affect you too much. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see these better. So as we just read, number 1 is A New Day Dawns. I do think that this deck has almost a Madame and Dora feel to it, in the sense that they're very direct. Be patient. Be vigilant. I love this beautiful, like, sacred tree here that this dragon is guarding. Be vigilant. You know, it's very precise. There's not a lot, you know, it's kind of being very specific. So I think that's quite beautiful because it's different than many oracle cards. Be without malice. So I love this because we have somebody that's ready to fight. And she could be going into a fight or into a battle with malice, and that is only going to hinder her. That isn't going to help her. You can go into a fight and be prepared to defend or be prepared to attack if necessary or whatever it is you're doing, but when you bear malice, it's only going to hurt you and make you less focused. Challenge your perception. It's very justice looking, the idea of looking for the truth, going beyond perception. Change is unavoidable. We have an egg that's cracking open. We have a tree at the base, but there's a universe inside. You can see the stars. We have a skull. We have night and day. We have a lunar moth and a dragonfly, both who go through cycles. So yeah, I think this is just a stunning card with a lot going on. Do not fear the unknown. That's very interesting because this is kind of a, if you stumbled upon this person or fae creature in an alley, I think you probably would be a little afraid, but you know, he may have lots of wisdom to impart. Embrace spirit. So we have this beautiful almost constellation eagle. Embrace the dark. It's very moon energy. You know, that has a sense of there are the dark can seem as if it's a scary place, but to fully embrace that. She looks like she is pregnant in the dark, and I know that we have a pregnant green lady here, which is much more of the daylight and the green and the fertility there, but we need to embrace both. So I think we have embraced the feminine. I love the egg about to crack here, the pregnancy, the full breasts, you know, that very mother Gaia. And then to balance that, we have embraced the masculine with the green man. So I love that we have both those energies. Isabel. And she's off and running. Here we have focus and then act. I think this is a stunning card. That's a focusing of the energy before acting, so that there's a very direct action. Follow the moon. How beautiful. So I do like that there's multiple moon energies because you know, there's just so much to do with the moon. And I love the scepter with the crescent moon on here, the water energy that we have down here. It's a very different energy feeling than the other, Embrace the Dark. Here's Have Courage. So again, there is that beautiful simplicity and directness in the statements, and yet the images also are open to going very deep. Here are the ancient ones. Look at the labyrinth. We got the beautiful tree. We have almost like knowledge pouring out of the mouth of this ancient being, and with its third eye open, is pouring it out and nurturing this tree of life, perhaps. The owl on his forehead. I mean, there's so much going on, and yet the statement is so simple. Heed the messengers. I love the little bluebird here. Heed your dreams. So heed other people, what other messengers are telling you, but then also heed your internal message. And I love this tree with the seasons that are on, all 4 seasons. We have the moon, we have the sun. I mean, it's just beautiful. Honor Gaia. Beautiful. Dragon here. Again, we have Gaia kind of pouring her essence into the earth. And you're pouring her spirit into the earth. We have, again, day and night. We have the beautiful, almost looks like a phoenix on the branch. Know you belong. That was a little cutesy for me, but I mean, it's cool. I love this one. Know your fears. Know your power. See, it's so direct. I feel like this is going to give very direct messages that can also let you dive in. Let go of the old, which is interesting. I mean, I don't really see, most of these images are quite clear what we're talking about. This image I'm not too clear about, so let's just take a look. Are you holding on to belief and notions that no longer serve you? Are you blocking your own growth forward because you fear to end a chapter? It's time to release all that you hold on to that no longer serves. Say goodbye. Blah, 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 blah. It's time to let go of the past. So basically what it says, let go of the old. I guess I'm just not so much seeing, well, we've got the phoenix, you know, we've got the color change here. So kind of molting into something new, I guess, and not holding on to this is beautiful what you have, but you need to let go of it because it's going to become even more beautiful and more powerful maybe. Here we have let the emotions flow. The third eye is open. Emotions are not a bad thing. Crying is not a bad thing. That's a very important card for me to set with. Let two become one. So we actually have here the two here, like a lover's card with them very much connected, almost the colors melding into each other. Beautiful Celtic work. I mean, the artwork is just beautiful. Love that you're different. How interesting is this and how cool. That is a neat little fairy. And just accept your differences. Love without condition. I mean, what else is there to say? Unconditional love. They're so simple, but so much that you can dig into there. Make the sacrifice. It's a dragon, a black dragon holding a skull. But you kind of have the idea maybe of that hanged man energy. Need and necessity. So we have Gaia in the tree like we saw before. We have the yin and yang. We have the sun and the moon. We have this wonderful three-headed crow here that is black and then fading into white with the yin and the yang also. So there's a lot that's going on in these cards, but in a way that is just stunning. And again, and I've said this so many times, but I just really have that sense that you could go very, very direct, and then you can also go very deep. Nourish the soul. How gorgeous is that? I like the constellation ones. Nurture all you love. We have sort of this kind of sea dragon with almost a world in its hands. Observe in silence. I love that one. Protect the wild and green. Let's check that one out. I mean, I can see what you would do with that, but like outside of conservation. So it's that be an active role in protecting and preserving. Limit your impact on the natural world. Tread gently, tread with care. So you could even use that in certain situations, just that idea of treading carefully and not leaving a negative impact on a situation. So yeah, I can definitely see that. Respect your boundaries. Reveal your truth. How powerful is that, taking the mask off? Seek the lesson. Of course, I am a huge fan of wolves. Definitely one of my totems, I guess you would say. Seek your answers within. So here's seeking the lesson, seeking your answers within. Yeah, I think this is going to read very much along the lines of Madame Endors, but on a little bit of a deeper level. Madame Endors is more Lenormand, very much more blunt and quick. Very clear, but not so much the deep part. So this is almost going to be blunt and quick, but with the oracle depth. Because I don't consider the Madame Endors to be an oracle deck. Seek your destiny. See the signs, and look at, there are signs everywhere. There's that sense of there are signs all over. You need to be looking for them. See the truth. So that is the beautiful owl that is on the cover of the box. See yourself in nature. I'm not overly fond of just the imagery of this. I'm sorry, Isabel is so wired. But see yourself in nature. Kind of see the reflection of ourselves. The good and the bad. Share your thoughts. show that you care. Isabel! What? What? You need to calm down. There's people downstairs. Stay strong. Look at surrender to the flow. I love that ladybug on a leaf in the water or out in the stars in the universe. Beautiful. Time to ground. There's definitely a lot of this closed eyes, third eye open imagery that's quite beautiful. Time to reflect. Trust in magic. Gonna have the Odin's ravens there. Here we have Odin's ravens, it seems like. Was it knowledge and memory, or memory and thought? I should know that. I should know that one. Wash away your burdens. There is that sense of letting go, you're just kind of laying in the water with your head just out and just floating along. We have the lotus flowers in the pad. That's just sort of letting it, almost like she's crying away, and kind of almost letting go of, almost like the human part is blending away and she's just becoming who she is. I love this one. We are all connected. We have the entwined dragons here with the knot work. We have little birds in a nest here. We have an owl, a wolf, a human being. We have night and we have day, the sun and the moon. That whole just a connection idea is just beautifully rendered, I think, in that image. And then we have you were born to create. So I really like the messages on this particular deck. I feel like, again, direct, deep. They shuffle really nice. This is a nice feel to these cards. They're thin enough to rifle shuffle well, but not so thin that they're flimsy feeling. I actually do like the feel of these. These are not as thick as some Blue Angel cardstock that I have. But I actually prefer this because I do like to get a really good rifle shuffle. So I'm quite happy with that. Actually, let's zoom out a little bit. I always say that and always go the wrong way. Whether I'm zooming in or I'm zooming out, I'm always going the wrong way. So let's take a look. Pretty good shuffle, I think. Let's take a look at the littler spread here, the shadow, soul, and let two be one. So let's just see how that might work together. So let's put the deck here. And so we have shadow. I love that we have the green man as shadow. And then we have soul, which is so respect your boundaries, which is a strength. And then we have how we bring these two together into balance. So it says here, let's take a look first to refresh. This is a shadow and represents a facet that needs to be addressed. That this part of ourselves is neglected. So that's beautiful. I mean, that's fairly easy. Just, you know, that's idea of neglecting the masculine energy, the yang energy, the active energy, the creative energy. So all that when we think about masculinity, the power even energy, that we may not be embracing our powerful self, maybe as much as we are, maybe the nurturing self, which is, there's nothing wrong with being nurturing, but we have to also have that active power, masculine energy that we want to be enforced just as much much as we want the other, because the key is to be balanced, not to be one or the other, but to be imbalanced. So that is something that is in shadow for us, whereas one of our strengths are that we respect our boundaries, that we have boundaries. There are many people who try to exist in the world and they have no boundaries, and that is a very difficult way to move about in the world, because you're going to be taken advantage of, you're going to be saying yes all the time and using up too much of yourself. That's definitely somebody who doesn't have boundaries. There can be a lot of problems because of that. You think you're doing good, but you're actually being destructive to yourself, and actually end up with less ability to help, because you need set boundaries so that you're able to help effectively. So that is one of our strengths, is that we do have the ability to set boundaries. And so the way in which to bring these two things together into balance, to make a more balance, is through honoring the Gaia. So the Gaia energy is Mother Earth, right? But it's Mother Earth in balance. We have the day and the night. We have the sort of dark and the light of the phoenix that we have over here. We do have the dragon that's kind of wrapped around here, and the bird, both kind of air mental energies. We have Gaia pouring into the earth, but that also is deep in her self, that's nourishing both herself and then spreading out to nourish the world. So there is that idea of being in balance and honoring that balance within ourselves, taking the masculinity and the ability to respect our boundaries, to bring the masculine and the feminine all into balance. And when we're living this way, because we do think about Gaia as being mother energy, right? Female energy, but Gaia in balance is both. But Gaia, in my opinion, Gaia in balance reflects a balance of masculine and feminine energy. If it was just feminine energy, it wouldn't be in balance, it wouldn't be in tune, it wouldn't be a whole system of the earth working. So Gaia, by its very nature, is balanced with those energies, and so that would be the key, is always, to bring in the balance, which is a very good message all the time. So yeah, I think these are going to read absolutely beautiful. I'm really excited to have them. Okay, let's go out any further. The other one that was interesting, I just don't think we're going to be able to see them. That's one hard thing I think about oracle decks and larger spreads, is it gets to be difficult to get them in camera. But let's just see if we can see this. So this is basically like a tree. It's going to kind of be set up like a tree. Number 1 is the trunk of the tree, and it represents me as the seeker. Then we are going to have branches, which is the current mood, is one of reflection, which is good because it says to observe in silence. The second branch is a strength or weakness that may have an impact right now, which is nurturing. I'm assuming that is a strength. 4 is the third branch, which is the present. Stay strong in the present. The fourth branch is the first of 3 choices or courses of action for the present or future. So 5, 6, and 7 are leaves that give us 3 choices or courses of action. So we have 1, 2, and 3 are going to go together. So this is basically the 4th branch that has some leaves on it. And then the 8th card is the 5th branch, which is a few weeks ahead. So we have this going on here in the trees. And then, let's see if we can move this up a little further. We also, let's see, we can overlap this a little bit here. And we have some roots. We have 3 roots. Well, they're having 12 way up there, which we're going to have to pretend it's up there. So we have 9, 10, and 11 as being the roots of the tree. This is something from the present that have an influence, somebody from the past that might have an influence, and somebody who are subconscious. And we're going to read these opposite because I just don't see why you wouldn't have this as the past, present, and then this is the subconscious feelings and thoughts. And then there is at the very top up there a reaching branch. I'm just going to kind of stick right here, which are the next few months. So kind of a future, another future card. So here we have ourselves, the seeker. So I'm kind of in an observing mode. If this was for me, this idea of I'm kind of in the mode of observing. And this first branch is telling me that my current mode is reflection, which is quite true. This is kind of the energy that's surrounding me right now, is that idea of reflection. The second branch is a strength or a weakness. So that idea of having nurturing for everybody that I love, everybody that I care about. I would think that this would be a strength. We have the third branch as, again, present time. I need to stay strong. I'm reflecting on a lot of things that may be difficult, but I need to stay strong. And then I have three choices or possible courses of action, either for right now, if there was a particular situation, or that are coming up in the future. I might need to know my power. I might need to seek my destiny, or I may need to be working on revealing my truth. Since I don't have a specific idea in mind, the one that really pops out for me of these three choices is the idea of that I need to know my truth. But I may need to also know my power, and seeking my destiny may be connected to knowing my truth. But that's the one that pops out to me at the moment. The fifth branch here is something that we're going to need to know in the next few weeks, which seeing the truth. So that kind of fits together. If I'm going to be doing some revealing, I need to know it when I see it, so to speak. That's kind of the idea that I get there. So then this is someone or something from the present that might have an influence that I need to be patient about. If I was reading this for myself, I would know what that was, which I will keep private. Time to ground is something from the past that may have an influence that is I need to be grounded on, have my third eye open. We have lots of balance going on here, and really being grounded is, again, I can certainly see the relevance to that, which I know none of that is helpful, but sometimes you do these readings and they hit a little too personal, and not going to share those things. I do have boundaries. That was the 3-1, having boundaries, right? And then we have here in the third root, my subconscious feelings and thoughts. I need to be paying attention to my dreams, because that could very much be to do with revealing my truth as well. I need to heed my dreams. I need to pay attention to my subconscious and things that's got something important to tell me, which is all very powerful indeed. And then a reaching branch, which is kind of something that I need to know in the coming few months or this time ahead, which is to heed the messengers. There's going to be messages that come to me from people, and I need to pay attention to them. So there we have it. I mean, obviously, if we had a specific thing in mind, that might help a little bit better. This is about having a detailed and structured discussion with the messengers. So you can see right here how this would look if I had a little bit more space, so that you could see the whole thing. But I do think that's interesting. I think it's one that I would certainly come back to, possibly, especially with a more specific question, to see how that might pan out. But I do really love the energy of this deck. It's one that I certainly see myself using, and I really hope that I'm able to find a green die for the sides. If I do, I will definitely add that on before I upload this. I'm going to check that out tomorrow, so we'll see. But otherwise, yeah, I'm really in love with, I think this is going to read beautifully, and certainly a deck from Miss Boho Gypsy that I will be keeping in my collection. So thank you. Okay, I just thought I would show you really quick. I did go ahead and edge this in peeled paint from Jim Holt's die. It is not an exact match. This is a little brighter green than this, a little bit darker, but I'm really happy with it. It looks wonderful, you know, kind of sitting on my shelf, and it's as close as I could come that wasn't too yellowy or wasn't too really bright like the grass green. So I'm happy with this because I was not happy with the bright white when you have this mossy, and it's kind of crackly at the top. I think it looks wonderful and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm really excited to work with this deck, and I'm so happy that Gypsy Boho, or Boho Gypsy, sent this to me, and Isabel is all worked up about something. Isabel, it's fine. Somebody's talking out there. It's okay. You know her. She's got something to say about my green edges. Isabel. No. So I'm going to go check out what Isabel's worked up over, and you all can be done watching this video about the gorgeous Messenger Oracle. I did want to point out that a viewer had mentioned that there is actually a Ravine, I don't know how to say that. Ravine Felon actually has a tarot deck that is coming out sometime this year. So if you liked this deck, you may also quite love her. You can go to her website and see images from it. It looks very rich. It looks very similar to this style, very bold. I'm quite interested to see that particular deck. So I did want to point that out. So anyways, you all have an absolutely wonderful day.